I found this super old recipe for date-filled oatmeal cookies from 1882, but I have a 21st century problem. I have a missing ingredient that I just could not find in any supermarket. So, I decided to improvise with a handy alternative, and the cookies turned out absolutely delicious. But this still makes me curious. If I had used the missing ingredient from the original recipe, would the cookies have tasted differently? Anyway, let's dive into how you make these tasty and nutritious date-filled oatmeal cookies. On your stove, grab a medium saucepan and combine 1 cup of boiling water with 2.5 cups of pitted and chopped dates, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, continuously stir the mixture as you bring it to a boil to prevent sticking or burning. Once it is boiling, reduce the heat and let it simmer until it thickens. It took me about 15 minutes. Next, mix together 1 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of room temperature butter. Mix until the butter becomes fluffy and creamy. In a different bowl, combine half a cup of sour milk, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. To quickly make sour milk, add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or white vinegar to a cup of milk and stir. Let it sit for about 5 minutes until it curdles and becomes slightly thicker. Now, add the sour milk mixture to the creamy butter blend and give everything a really good stir until it all mixes together nicely. Then, add in 2 cups of oats and mix again so everything is well combined. After you have got the oats all mixed in, then add in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, but do it gradually. Pour in a little bit, stir it around until it is all mixed in, then add a bit more. Keep mixing until you get a dough that is pretty solid, but still easy to work with. If it feels too dry, you can add a bit more milk. If it's too wet, sprinkle in a little more flour. Now it's time to shape your cookies. Using your hands, roll the dough into equal-sized balls. Place them on a baking tray lined with parchment paper and gently press each ball down to flatten it into a cookie shape. Make sure to leave a little space between each one. Next, spoon about a tablespoon of the date filling onto the center of each flattened cookie. Then, grab another bit of dough, flatten it, and gently place it on top of the filling. Carefully press around the edges of the 2 dough layers so they stick together to make sure the date filling does not spill out when the cookies are baking. Remember to press gently so the cookies keep their shape. Now, bake the cookie in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes until the cookies turn golden brown and your kitchen smells absolutely amazing. These date-filled oat cookies are a real treat. The oat cookie part is kind of chewy with a bit of crispiness around the edges. And then you get to the date filling that is sweet, kind of like caramel. So you've got this awesome mix of chewy and sweet and gooey in every bite. But can you guess what the missing ingredient was? The original recipe called for half a cup of lard and half a cup of butter. But since I could not find any lard, I just used a full cup of butter instead. But here's the funny thing. Right after I baked the cookies and finished the video, I found lard at my local Lidl. Now I'm thinking of doing a second batch with the lard just to see if there's a big difference in how the cookies will turn out. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you'll get notified of my new videos. If you like this date-filled oatmeal cookie recipe, you will definitely want to try this deliciously moist and chocolatey banana oat cake recipe here. Check it out now.